Good day to all my fellow marks out there, and welcome to the wacky and wild world of professional wrestling, the only form of entertainment where the most dominant and menacing faction are dressed in fresh Hanes white t-shirts. Grab yourself a drink and a snack, kick your feet up and relax. You are now listening to the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 23 of the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast. I'm your main host Mike, and this week is the first ever annual GWP Awards ceremony, and I'm going to let my co-hosts introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, it's Dan. Christmas came early for me this week because my favourite luchador's coming back soon. Gassed as ever.
Andy, go. Next one.
Yep, Brett here, that ball bro. Here under these inhumane circumstances. Just living day by day. The struggle is real. Yep.
I'm Wrestling Mark, and I also had an inhumane related pun. So let's move on quickly.
All at me, fucking marks. Let's go.
Okay, so the first award we have is known as the Black Death Bottle Moment Award. And this refers to an award for the segment, match, or promo that was so bad you wished for a bottle of the hardest liquor to survive it. I love that description, actually. So I had for this, because it was this year, despite it, I had to double check and make sure it wasn't last year. It was so bad that I just had to drink to get through it, was the CM Punk Ariel Helwani interview, because all it solidified to me, was that man is a narcissistic, abusive individual, and it can only, all the Fed Pill fans ate it up and thought it was the best thing ever, but all it did was just solidify that someone I used to like was just an absolute asshole.
The Kanye West of the wrestling world.
Literally. At least Kanye can make some good music.
I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if Punk came out and said Hitler wasn't actually that bad, you know.
He's the kind of guy that I always feel is heading down that path, the Red Pill, the way that Russell Bryan's gone or Joe Rogan's gone. The guy that promoted equality and felt like they were the kind of guy that they've got a good moral compass. They're very witty. They're funny. That as soon as they start losing their credibility a bit, they start edging further and further right until they're just a full-blown fascist. And he's the kind of guy that it wouldn't surprise me in a couple of years. He was seen at fucking Wembley last year, at All In with support trans rights message, and you wouldn't be surprised in a couple of years' time he's going over and pointing to a MAGA sign. So yeah,
literally, he's also just a classic gaslighter, and I've got no time for people like that. Fuck CM.
And he won't accept the fact that he's losing his hair. What's going on with that fucking... It's one of the worst hair transplants I've ever seen. It looks like a fucking toupee, to be honest, so maybe it is.
Let it shine, man. Nothing wrong with being bald. It makes life so much easier.
Exactly, man. It's brilliant.
You know what?
You don't have to brush your hair.
Yeah, you look the same no matter what time of day it is.
I shaved my head for the best part of a decade till COVID, and then thought, you know what? I might as well, because my hairline's gone a bit, so I probably thought it had gone more than it had. And then during COVID, I thought, fuck it, I've got nothing else to do, so I'll grow my hair. And now I've got it. And some days I'm like, you know what, I kind of wish I went bald so I didn't have the choice, so I can just lob it off again and not have to worry about fucking every time I go out and it blows in the wind and it looks fucking ridiculous. So I'm semi-excited about going bald, so I lose the choice of having hair, because I also feel guilty now, but I've got quite thick hair still. If I shave it off, I'm like, that's kind of rude. So I should kind of keep it.
Yeah, ride it out while you can, because I tried that and my hair ended up looking like Ghost Rider.
If any of you are ever going to get a hair transplant out, don't do what Conor Benn did and get a beard transplant and then just shave. Most stupid fucking... The dude went and got a fucking hair transplant so he could grow a beard and then shaves. It's like, what the fuck? Those fucking thickest cunt in the world. Anyway,
that's a decision.
We've slightly gone off track here.
Yeah. My one is every Cody promo, because the whole crying thing is just fucking cringe central. If it happens once, it's got a meaning to it, and okay, but it's every fucking time.
Yeah.
It's like, But mate, we're done. We get it. You know, your dad was Cody Rhodes. You're doing this for your mum. You're finishing your story. Fuck off. Just you've done it. Don't cry now.
When you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 fucking times.
It's not even just him crying. Sometimes it's the little. I don't know if you guys noticed, like when he's doing his crying promos, he does this weird like little neck head like little jerk or whatever. Like,
I know what you mean.
When he cries like a fucking chicken or rooster like type shit. Like, I'm sorry, I already have a hard time with your promos because you don't talk like a normal human being during a lot of your promos.
That's why.
Yeah, not during like a normal human being when you're talking your promos, but then you have the crying, the fucking neck and head jerking all the time. I'm like, can you be a natural human fucking being for once?
No is the answer. So that was mine anyway.
All right, I'm shocked that I'm the first one giving this answer. It's Daddy Ass versus Jay White. That match.
To be fair, actually, that pissed me off.
That was shit.
That was fucking horrible. And here's the thing: like, if it would have maybe been like a 2-3 minute disqualification, fine. It would have been forgotten about maybe in a day or two. That match went 12-15 minutes of just Billy Gunn just ragdolling Jay White in and out of the ring. You thought they were booking him like goddamn prime Billy Gunn in the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression Era. I'm like, no, this man is what, late 50s, early 60s? Like, I don't care what greatest shape he's in. He should not be fucking dominating one of your supposed main eventers now, and that being Jay White. I mean,
I'd forgotten about it, to be honest. It was that bad. It was terrible. It served no purpose whatsoever to anything.
No.
It's the lowest rated AEW match of all time on Cage Match.
Doesn't surprise me.
1.42 out of 10, and that's a really generous rating. And that's because 2 idiots gave it a 7 out of 10. But 102 people gave it a none out of 0 out of 10.
The other two who gave it a 7 out of 10 were the Acclaimed, I bet.
Well, and they were already down half a bottle of Black Death vodka, weren't they? At that point, they must have been to give it a 7.
Oh, yeah. No, I had PTSD and I completely put that out of my mind completely. I had like a mental block.
Yeah. What's yours, Mike?
Anyway.
Right. I'm surprised I'm the first one to say this. I've got Mariah May's first title celebration at All Out.
No, that was rubbish. What that was bad. Did she even do that? Was it promo backstage in the end?
It was a promo with Tony Schiavone about it, and then was that when she twatted Sky Blue's crutch?
Yeah,
because it was in Chicago, wasn't it?
It was shit. Yeah,
it was terrible.
Like we'd been led to believe. Yeah, we'd been led to believe it was going to be something big, and we were thinking, "Oh, Mina's turning up and all this," and it was just like nothing.
Mm.
And then it led to a match with Queen Aminata, and that was it done. Yeah, no, that was shite.
I mean, the fact that they led that all the way up to being Full Gear 2 pay-per-views later when it actually happened.
I know.
It wasn't the finest execution in AW history.
No.
Mine, it wasn't so much, it was so bad. I'm sorry, has anyone else got anything to add on that before I've just jumped the gun a bit there?
No, go ahead, lad.
But mine was just, I wanted to see it. I looked forward to it. I was intrigued. I wanted to see it since the day it happened. And then when it happened, I felt really fucking empty that I'd watched it. And I knew it was going to be received so fucking badly, like online. And
I know what this is. I know what this is.
Showing the footage from all in.
Yeah.
It was. I wanted to see it, but then when it was over, I sat there and I just thought straight away, that was a mistake. And I wanted to see it, and I was sort of happy I saw it, and it kind of just said that CM Punk went out there to get himself sacked. He wanted to get sat there. That's fine. Fuck him. I don't care. Move on from that. It did no good to the perception of the company when the perception was already kind of at a pretty bad place, because WWE built well to Mania. The perception of them was high. And again, when WWE are doing well, it doesn't matter if AEW are doing brilliantly because people won't care. And that was coming shortly after Revolution, which was the best pay-per-view I think they'd built to. Everything felt good. They had a couple of crap ratings, and this was the knee-jerk reaction. And it just felt really shit afterwards to me. And like, it takes a lot for me to feel like that.
Are we giving a winner?
I'm going to go with Billy Gunn, Jay White.
Yeah, to be fair,
Billy Gunn, Jay White.
Second that
takes the cake. That takes
Yeah,
the cake,
I'll give you
It
Billy
was
Gunn.
terrible.
Yeah.
It was just, again, at least you understand why they did like the Punk thing. You understand the Mariah Ray celebrations they wanted to have on the pay-per-view. You understand these things. That match made no fucking sense. So yeah, that was that's the unit. Universally agreed winner, I'm assuming.
Congratulations, Billy Gunn and Jay White.
Don't do it again.
Jay White's rejuvenated himself a bit since then, and now he's in the main event scene, like where he belongs, and Billy Gunn's be seen.
Unfortunately, they're not here to claim the award, but I'm sure they'll be absolutely delighted. And on to the next one then, the Tony Khan's Whiteboard Award. This is for the most convoluted storyline booking of the year that only makes sense after several beers. Dan, go for it.
So for me, I did have one, but then I changed my mind. I've gone for the MJF and Adam Cole story because I get it's been out of their control with injuries and time off and all that lot. But fuck me, I can't wrap my head around this week in, week out. It just seems like every sort of little intricate thing that they add just makes it more confusing.
It does at the moment.
It does. Right now, I can't figure out why I'm supposed to cheer Adam Cole when he was the orchestrator in all of it. And it's like, I get why they kind of switched MJF to heel again, but he was so good at the babyface. I wish they'd have just kept that running, and then this would have all made a bit more sense.
I don't mind it, but the only thing that's like it's just some of the things it's coming wildly seems to be padding for MJF to be back full time. Some of the things just aren't clicking. Like, why the fuck did we have a double winner in the Battle Royale when beforehand it was clearly stated that the person who wins will face MJF, and now all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, well the last two are gonna fight each other to face MJF. Like, where the fuck did that come from?
Oh yeah, I must admit, I like that didn't register for me, to be honest. I just assumed, oh yeah, they got a Battle Royal yet, so I assume that it's going to lead to a match, or they did do that like double winner thing for years.
They've done it before, haven't they?
I think
they never said it was going to be that. They originally said it was going to be the winner faces MJF, and then all of a sudden, then it was like, oh yeah, it's the last two. Like, where the fuck is that?
That's inexcusable. That's Vince McMahon, isn't it? That's poor.
It feels like it's just padding because MJF's not available properly, and it's like, oh, we'll just kind of pad this out a bit more, like.
Yeah, but either way, like that's mine. It's just it's dragged on longer than it probably should have. Had Adam Cole and MJF like both stayed healthy, I reckon we could look this up by Blood and Gut, or maybe like Forbidden Door around that time. And I get that they need to sort of tie up a loose end, but it just feels like it's just becoming more complicated than it needs to be.
Well, mine's probably one that you'll probably all be going to, about to throw out there, so I'll say it now. The Statlander turn, it was fucking stupid. It came out of nowhere overnight. We then had some kind of ridiculous attempt to justify it. We had Stokely putting out a fucking letter of Statlander's demands, saying that he'd booted her and all this. And it's like, what? No, it was just stupid. It was fucking dog shit. But they just, no excuse. Absolute shit. And we got a great match out of it, but it was still shit.
Yeah, because Stat and Stokely were like really building some momentum, and it was sort of snatched away from us. Really, I feel like that could have had some legs.
We had a year of Statlander being a twat to one of the biggest baby faces in Willow, and then just all of a sudden, after they'd had a great match as well, all of a sudden it was like, yeah, I've just woke up this morning and decided I'm good. I'm reborn. I heard you needed an opponent for Mercedes, so I'm reborn. So whatever, it was shit anyway. That's mine. Next,
that's what I had first, but I changed to the Adam Cole MJF one because I knew you'd say that.
Thank you, Dan.
That's all right. All right, Brett, what's yours?
It's an ongoing story that's like, I don't know. I'm on the fence right now, but I'm gonna say the Christian Cage and Hook storyline right now. I mean,
that's a good shout. There, I don't
listen, like I was hoping for better because, listen, Christian Cage is involved, and Christian Cage, everything that he's done in his AEW run has been a home run so far. But I just feel like it's kind of hard to get invested because we know that Christian Cage, for a fact, didn't attack Taz. We know he went for double knee, double hip replacement. So, like, there's no real story there. We know the situation, but I don't know. I just feel that there was too much of a gap. Like, they've taken too many weeks off. Like, it's cooled off since the story has started up until now. I know we have the match coming up with Hook and Nick Wayne at the Collision show at Hammerstein, I believe. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'll be a good match, but storyline wise, like, yeah, I'm not into it, honestly.
That's a good shout, to be fair. I think, yeah, I agree. Christian's had like a fantastic year. Like, I'm just he's one of my favorites, like on AEW, like just as a character.
Yeah.
And like the promo he cut on Hook saying like, "I wish your father was dead" and all that lot. Again, just classic character work. But
yeah,
it just feels to me that they're building this all up so Hook has some backup at Hammerstein, and it could be, I don't know, maybe Samoa Joe, it could be Copeland, it could be somebody, I don't know. It just feels like it's building to that, so maybe it'll make a bit more sense. But you're absolutely right. It should have been done and dusted, like, I don't know, like a month ago.
And also just a little extra, like, I'm sorry, but even Kip Sabian's involvement with the patriarchy, yeah, that's a swing and a miss for me.
Agreed. I feel bad. I just don't care about him. I never have. I want to. I just don't care.
I've got to say, I prefer Kip Sabian's involvement to Hook's involvement in the story. I just don't see it. I don't see it with Hook. I don't see why they're determined to kind of make him into something. Send him to Ring of Honor, let him rebuild his character or something, because it's just boring. But that's probably just me.
No, yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I think he'll get a good reaction at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and like you were saying about planting seeds with someone returning to help him. I think it makes more sense if it's Samoa Joe who comes back.
Definitely,
I mean, he'll get a great pop in the Hammerstein.
Yeah. Mike, what's yours?
Mike.
Yeah, mine might be a bit controversial. I might be alone in this, but I'm still to this day fucking so pissed off that Christian won the gauntlet match at All In.
On the day, I hated it. I haven't really changed my mind since. It felt so flat that he won that day.
Like, they've already done it. They've done the whole cash-in thing with Christian and Killswitch at was it Full Gear last year?
World's End.
Yeah. They already done all that shit last year. They just sort of rehashed it, and it's kind of been okay so far. But I just can't forgive the anger that I had in that moment. McGuinness coming back, so many interesting ways they could have gone.
Ricochet's debut, and yeah.
And
at the time, I didn't like it, but I don't mind it now. It's actually worked out quite well with what we've got coming out of it, even though I despise any... Like, if he does do a Money in the Bank cash-in, that will by default be my worst moment of the year and worst booking and everything. It will be the number one for all of them shitty fucking sections.
Get ready for that then, bro. It's going to happen.
Yeah, don't fucking do it, man, please. No. Anyway...
I just hope that they try the cash in and it fails, and then he loses it, and then it doesn't become that whole yearly thing of where it's just blatantly copying like the Money in the Bank thing.
Just outdated shit, man.
AEW doesn't need that. They don't need to copy that.
The idea's been done to death. There's been some brilliant moments. The Seth Rollins one was amazing. Dolph Ziggler's one was good, but most of them have been crap. And the WWE's like the 90% of the ones in the last decade have been dog shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been done to death. There's no innovation to it anymore. Look, again, it was innovative for the time. It was interesting for the time. There was some good adrenaline pumping moments, but they've gone now. There's no creative way of making this interesting anymore, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm Randy there. Like I think it's going to be a cash in like that. I don't want it to be. Again, there could be the thing we've spoken about before a few times about has he signed the contract? Has someone else signed the contract in front of him? And there could be a bit of a swerve that way, which could make it maybe interesting. But again, yeah, it's just there's a couple of things that are just too much out of the WWE notebook. A straight up Royal Rumble and this. Just stay clear of them. They're WWE things. No one else should touch them.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to mine now, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think Statlander turning face for no reason is this winner for me personally. But throwing another one out there, I look back on it now, and who knows? If Danielson has retired, then I found that his match against Jack Perry at All Out was such a fucking waste of time. The match was fine. It was okay. Not memorable. 3.5 stars out of 5, 7 out of 10 match. But again, if he's got one title defense between Moxley, make it someone better than Jack Perry. Make it someone better than someone who's already got a title and there's 0% chance they're winning that match. It just did nothing for me. It was just a waste of one of Danielson's last matches. Again, let's hope that he is bullshit and we've got another 30, 40 matches out of him. For argument's sake, let's say we haven't. That felt a penultimate pay-per-view appearance being an okay match against a person 100% isn't going to beat them. I didn't like it at all. I remember when he appeared and took that challenge, I thought, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that you could have chosen 15, 20 people here. Why have you chosen him? And that's what I will say, simply because that's next in line for me after Stat Arm's irrational face turn.
Are we all in agreement then that Stat's the winner on this?
For me, it's the winner.
Considering it got 2, essentially, then yeah.
It was fucking awful.
Just
congratulations.
It's just, again, like, I'm all for trying new things. Some things you're going to swing and you're going to miss. You didn't even try here. You just thought, fuck it, we need this match. You didn't even fucking try. Like,
100%. They could have fucking give us an angle where she breaks up with Stokely or something. But they just, like you say, they didn't even put any effort into it. It was just...
That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
All right. So we are on to the Cena Cameo We Didn't Ask For award. This will be given to the wrestler or personality who showed up everywhere but wasn't exactly welcome. And man, the wrestling gods are shining on me for this one. This should be the clear winner, I think, for everyone here. It is Alex Abrahantes in any match that he comes down for, whether it's Commander or whoever else. Like, I'm sorry. There's just something about him when he comes down to the ringside. Like, why are you here? Why are you here? With your goofy fucking outfits, with just your manners. Like, I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was last month we had on Collision. It was Commander versus Kyle Fletcher. When Fletcher was on the outside, felt so good when Fletcher kicked Abrahantes right in the face. Like, it was brilliant. I was like, yes, you did what 90% of the IWC wanted to do every time he's fucking jumping around like a goddamn cheerleader around the ringside. But I'm like, yeah, Alex, like, you were good. Your inclusion was good for 5 minutes, but now it's like, bro, we're good, man. Just
he does my head in. I agree.
You might have a winner there,
yeah. But I've got a different one. As for someone who just constantly appears but isn't welcome, Triple H. Just because he just has to make everything about himself.
You fucking bastard!
By default, he should be the winner then, because you had it.
Are we not meant to be doing this? So after Brett, it goes to Mike, then me. Are you just jumping in and taking all the glory here every time?
Oh well, I thought it was in like.
Well, like Dan is first, Dan, then Andy, then Mike, then you, Mark.
It's okay. Though.
That's what I thought.
I'm sulking because I'm last every time, and my idea is
we can have multiple.
Oh no, I'm not even fucking around.
We can have multiple, people with the same, nomination.
No one's going to say mine anyway. But yeah.
That gives us a winner anyway. Then
yeah, well, Triple H is a glory hog. Fuck him and his bald fucking head and his big ass nose. Stupid racist twat.
Mine was also Triple H, mainly because he's now added himself as a producer on the Raw shows and SmackDown shows. It's like, what the fuck? No one has ever done this.
He's put his name on the NXT shows.
He's fucking everywhere now, and he's fucking anytime the wrestlers are getting pictures, and he's always in there in the background. And like, fucking hell, Vince was never like that.
No,
fuck me.
No,
I know.
And it feels like he's determined to make himself unsackable. Like, he's got to be such a big part of everything that's happening because he knows the Rock has got something going on with the TKO guys, and he's like, I need to make myself indispensable. I need to make myself as much of a part of everything that's happening as I possibly fucking can.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck him.
Sounds like it.
Fucking prick.
Fuck him.
Hey! I've just seen what you've done there.
I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna cut this out, but this is still in the show. What you got? While we're laughing right now, Mark had been in the last of the order for the awards. He just moved himself up to number 1, so he could get the first answers going forward.
I made myself laugh there.
That was very
we're
good.
keeping that in. We're keeping that
Yes,
in.
please do.
Go on then, Mike.
Alright,
You go yours,
Mike.
and then we'll flip back around to Mark.
Sweet. I'm going for the Denny's dickhead himself. I'm going for Mr. Eric Bischoff.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
He was number 2 on my list, you know, because he's just popping up everywhere now, isn't he?
I
Fucking
don't know if
he's
you-
killing MLW. Then he's on NXT giving the lowest fucking ratings. Like he's fucking popping up wherever he can, isn't he?
I don't know if you've seen. I put it in the group chat, but my boy Alex Kane on TikTok, shout to Alex Kane, absolutely fucking killed Bischoff in a promo on MLW, and it had me in stitches. But yeah, no, Denny's dickhead, Eric Bischoff.
Good one.
And mine, this is someone who has had matches in his career with the likes of AJ Styles, Rob Van Dam, Christopher Daniels, Terry Funk, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, and Larry Zbyszko. And his highest rated match ever is 2.72 on Cage Match.
Who the fuck is this now? Then?
I mean, there's nothing original. It's Eric Bischoff again. But I have my The man who has managed to ruin NXT and MLW in the space of a fortnight. The man who, I mean, again, I'm not on Twitter now, but from what people have told me, that every NXT fan was just completely went for him as well. Like, there's no safe haven for him now, apart from his minions of morons online who accept all the bullshit that he says. He's an absolute laughingstock, and I'm so happy that he's getting this humiliation. Again, I do want to be careful because I do think he's got onset dementia. I do think he's probably got some other problems as well. And I don't think he really knows what's going on a lot of the time. So I'll be mindful of that and retract all the negative things if this does come out about him. Until it comes out, fuck Eric Bischoff. He's a prick.
Literally. Just
It's a tough on this then. Who's the winner here? Because we had a two and a 2, but I'm going to go with Eric Bischoff because he was the number 2 anyway. So
yeah.
So we're going Eric Bischoff?
It looks like it, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's
3, isn't it? Yeah.
The negativity's won out.
It's the first thing he's won in a long time.
Since January 1999, I think.
I think you're right.
Well, it might have been the last week of December, actually, wasn't it? Yeah. But yeah, well done, Eric. You've been acknowledged for being an absolute bellend.
Right. So who's on the? Well, who's throwing the next one out?
Me. I'll change my name back in a sec. Anyway,
it's all muddled now.
The Chop Heard Around the Pub Award. This is for the stiffest, most ridiculous match that echoed louder than your mate arguing about Full Gear. So I'll go first. I'm glad originally this was down to be a moment or like one chop or just a moment that echoed round. Brett can probably back me up on this. There's one match. There were so many moments in this match, so many thuds, so many bits where you thought someone had died in the ring. And again, me and Brett were there live. It was the entire Will Ospreay Takeshita match at Revolution because there were just so many moments in that match that looked absolutely incredible. And it was, to this day, like, I was jumping out of my seat. Like I'm not that kind of person. As loud and annoying as I might come across, I'm quite composed when I'm sitting in these situations. I was going fucking mad in that in Greensboro that day because it was absolutely just moment after moment and brutal moment after brutal moment as well. The amount of like claps that echoed around the arena was something special.
Oh yeah, like to back up what Mark said. I mean, Jesus, like I'm right there with you. I was jumping out of my chair like multiple times. Like, dude, what? Holy shit! Just what a fucking match. I mean, what I could say about it won't do it justice. But yeah, man, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. It was a fucking phenomenal match, but I've gone for a slightly different one for mine. I mean, you could probably make a case for 3 of his opponents, but it involves Jericho, and I've gone for his match with Shibata because I mean, like the redness on their chests, like, and just the loudness of all the chops and all the thuds and all the strikes was nut, very stiff. And this is why Jericho delusion syndrome just like drives me insane, because people don't want to admit that match was actually fucking entertaining.
It was, yeah.
So that's mine. Yeah, it was phenomenal. I've rewatched it like 2 or 3 times now, and I've loved it.
I've gone for a similar one. It was Jericho Suzuki for the same reasons. It was literally Suzuki chopping the shit out of Jericho, and I've never seen someone just take chops non-stop with hardly any, offense back, in a match, and it was great to the point his pecs were bleeding, and Suzuki just looked like he was having the time of his life, and it was that's my one. But again, the same as Dan said. I mean, there's probably three matches, maybe 4. I know the
Ishii one as well.
Ishii one was very similar, and
Samoa Joe one as well. I'm pretty sure.
He probably gets a fucking depraved kick out of getting the shit beaten out of his chest.
Yeah, it's very inhumane, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Hey.
If you haven't picked up yet, it's going to be a theme of this episode. But yes, so looking at the concept of this award, I'm going to go with the Ospreay and Danielson match from Dynasty. 2 specific spots. First, Ospreay springboard off the rope just to run to that psycho knee from Danielson. That if you slow down the replay, he hit him Ospreay right in the fucking neck, and that was just brutal. And you thought I'm sure we thought at that match okay, it can't get more worse than brutal than that, right? No, for any anime fans out there, just you have Danielson in one corner. Yes. You have freaking Ospreay in the other corner, just setting up for the hidden blade. They charge at each other like it's goddamn Goku and Vegeta attacking each other. And then Ospreay hits, this may be the nastiest hidden blade to date on Danielson, just to follow that up with the Tiger Driver 97, that right on the back of Danielson's neck, his head, all that crap. Danielson sold it like death. I mean, because that's the sick fuck that Danielson is. But yeah, I'm going with that match.
Shout.
Solid answer, yeah. I think that match will come up for me in a later award. But yeah, no, it's a great pick for right here. In terms of my pick for this award, Mark stole it. The bastard. I'm going with Straight Takeshita. Just echo everything that Mark said, but obviously from in home, I wasn't fortunate enough to be there in the building. But
even when watching at home, I was just like blown away by how good it was.
I'd never seen a match. It was again to that point, the only pay-per-view I've been to, obviously all in the previous year, and I've been to a Rumble and a WrestleMania. There wasn't a match within a million miles of this match. Seeing it live, nothing compared. There wasn't a thing just that could within a million miles of it. It was just so good and so. It's the kind of match that if you brought someone there, they'd watch that and think it was obviously well orchestrated, but they'll think it was a real fight. They're hurting each other. There was no way you could watch that and not think they were beating the living shit out of each other. It was pretty special, yeah.
So I think we're all in agreement then that Ospreay Takeshita was the stiffest match of the year.
I think so.
Yeah.
Although I think it was very close, because it was a choice between Ospreay and Takeshita beating the living shit out of each other, or Jericho's tits getting the slap to bits.
So Jericho's that was the stiffest, but I think for the whole just for the crunches, just the hits that echoed around the arena kind of thing. That's why I think it gets edged by Will and Takeshita.
I have a feeling we'll be revisiting that match a few
times. Yes,
yeah. I think so.
Most
so moving on.
Moving on quickly.
Yeah, we fucked up there because Wrestling Mark was changing his name.
Wrestling Mark. Okay, I'm a Wrestling Mark.
Go for it, Mike.
Okay, award 5 is the emergency Matt Hardy spot of the year, and this goes to the botchiest, most cringeworthy moment that had you reaching for the Black Death mid-match. And for me, the winner is just Jericho at All In against Hook. I didn't enjoy this match. I'm a Hook guy, as people know, but it just wasn't for me.
I for this it said cringeworthy moment, so that to me didn't feel like it had to be a match. So I'm gonna sort of go back to showing the all in footage, because as soon as I watched it, I was like, oh no, this is so cringe.
Yeah,
that was just like a black sort of mark on a rather an otherwise fantastic 2024, but that was a low point for the company for me.
Mm-hmm.
that was mine as well. I was toying with. Well, no, basically, it was just that came out in the end.
Oh, I got a good one. Speaking of cringe, we gotta go to Monday Night Raw. We have to go with Carlito.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Yes,
Very
Mr.
true.
Carlito with a "I need to learn Chinese" line in reference to right before he came in. Io Sky and Kairi Sane were complaining to Adam Pearce. They went to a match. I believe that, as soon as they left, Carlito comes in and he says, "Huh, I gotta learn Chinese." By the way, for any listeners who don't know, both Kairi and Io are Japanese. And since then, WWE has taken down said video from YouTube. Yeah.
Can I change mine?
Go on.
Mine was Hulk Hogan showing up at that fucking MAGA shite and trying to rip his shirt off and not being able to rip his shirt. That was it. That was the cringiest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, not just wrestling related. Elon Musk's little fucking gimp jump. When he was going on stage. Hell, these people, man. Like, honestly. Anyway, I could go on forever. So I won't go there.
No,
sorry,
that was mine anyway. Yeah, go. Is it?
Mine is again. I don't know how many of you would have seen this. It is a couple of things from Damian Priest's world title run. There was the non-kick out in the world title match at Money in the Bank against Seth Rollins, which was one of the worst things I've ever seen because the ref just stopped counting. And in a world title match in a big arena, it was desperately bad. It was either that or another one of his title defenses against Drew McIntyre when CM Punk irrationally got hold of a referee shirt, ran to the ring and did a 2 count, and it was just so stupid. It was back-to-back pay-per-views where their world title match ending was an absolute farce. One's unfortunate, but it was just so bad. The other was just, again, it was just such bad booking and people coming out trying to defend it. It was indefensible. It was so badly done. It was so stupid. So those moments stuck out for me. Albeit, I'm down to go with Hulk Hogan for this one.
Yeah, same. It was very cringe, and we've already said the all-in stuff anyway. So yeah, Hulk Hogan is cringer than anything else, like ever, like at any time.
Brett's was a good one, but I have to go with that, man. It was ridiculous. Just a fucking old man struggling to rip his t-shirts off, surrounded by racists.
I'll go with that.
In a wrestling context, I think Carlito being racist.
Yeah.
But I think Hulk Hogan is the perfect. If we were playing Cards Against Humanity, Hulk Hogan is that banker card, that absolute winner.
Yeah, you can't get much more cringe than that. So,
congratulations, you fucking baldy fucking Terry Nutkins looking prick.
Oh, mate. Oh, right. I'm going to gather myself and move on to the next one, which is This Aged Like Milk. So this is for the storyline or gimmick that went from promising to please make it stop faster than a Wardlow squash.
I reckon there's gonna be at least 3 of us who got the same one on this one, but we'll see.
I think so as well, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So I mean, mine. We'll see. Mine was the elite angle.
It's that. It has to be that.
It's got to be that.
It was so good for like 2 weeks, and then it was like, what the fuck's going on? Christopher Daniels is running around. Tony Khan's not got a neck brace on anymore. He's back. What? Like, why? Why?
I know.
For this one, I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on. I think the writing's on the wall. So let's do this. All eyes for the elite aging like milk. Aye. All right, the eyes have it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Yeah,
it was very, very bad.
Fuck that angle. It should have been good. Anyway, I'll move on now to the Vince Russo Memorial Bad Idea Award for the worst creative decision of the year that screamed, nobody asked for this. Do you want to go, Dan?
Yeah, go on then. I'll jump in. I didn't get much time on that last one, so to me, for the one that no one asked for this, I mean, I don't really watch the program, so obviously correct me if I'm like chatting shit here, but I'm going to go with the Bloodline under Solo Sikoa because
you bastard again! Fuck's sake, man!
Because like literally, like the guy. I'm sorry, the guy is absolutely awful. I don't care about him. I haven't cared. I mean, obviously I don't watch, so maybe I'm just coming from a very naive point of view here. But I just don't give a shit anymore. Like I've never rated like Roman Reigns anyway. I think he's just a bang average wrestler. Never really like got on with him. I like Jacob Fatu. I liked his stuff. So Solo just does nothing for me. I was never a massive fan of like the Gorillas of Destiny in New Japan. So yeah, that for me gets the Idea Award.
Yeah, I'm with Dan on this. I've never been a fan of Roman Reigns at all, but as the minute he came back after having fucking Solo there, he looked like fucking prime, fucking Ric Flair, whoever you want. The man looked the world of. He made Solo made Roman Reigns look a bigger star than he ever has been. If that was possible, it was just nuts. That like people talk about aura and that, and fuck me, it's shown when he came back with Solo being in the fucking ring. The man is fucking useless. I'd rather see fucking Han Solo in a fucking angle than Solo. He's fucking shit. I just don't get it at all. There's nothing there, and he can't wrestle. There's nothing there. Shit.
Yeah, I'm with you. Listen, I've never bought into Solo as the whole new tribal chief after Roman lost at WrestleMania. Like, you can't lose to Cena. You can't beat Cena last year at Crown Jewel, then lose, 40, 50 matches in a row. And then Roman loses for the first time in 5 years at WrestleMania. And now you're the guy in charge. I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. Like, it's like you ever play video games with your younger sibling, and they think they're playing, but you have the controller unplugged. Like that's how you would treat Solo. That's how I would treat Solo Sikoa. Like him calling himself the new tribal chief. I'm like, that's cute, that's adorable, but no. But yeah, I'm with you on Solo.
So yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with it being Solo Bloodline. Yeah, but the one thing mine very quickly was I put myself through a TNA pay-per-view back in June against all odds, and it was a bad show. Like it was an extended episode of Dark, if I'm being honest, and that was typified by Jeff Hardy returning at the end, and the final shot going off air was the Nemeth brothers, Joe Hendry, and Matt Hardy, his wife, and Jeff Hardy standing in the ring looking haggard, and I just remember watching it thinking that this is who people think is competition for AEW, which I found quite fascinating because it was just really, really bad. It was an awkward watch because it was just a bunch of people way past their best, just stumbling around the ring. But again, it doesn't compare to what we said before. So yeah.
Yeah, Solo.
All
right, so I think the consensus takes it. Yep, Solo takes this award.
Congratulations,
Solo. The only thing that you'll win in the immediate future under Triple H's booking. Here you go, Solo. Okay, so number 9, the How Did This Pop So Hard award for the moment that shouldn't have worked but had the crowd going mental anyway. Dan, you want to take this one first?
I do, but I think I'm going to steal Andy's again.
Can I just swap places with Dan for a second?
Yeah, you take this one, Andy.
It's the Cardiff AEW show.
Yes, it's got to be that.
Yeah, it's mine.
Big Bill and Jeff Jarrett. Big Bill and Jeff Jarrett. It was just immense, and yeah, that was it. It was fantastic.
I mean, Jarrett at Wembley got a way bigger pop than I was expecting, to be honest with you. So I'll put that as mine. Yeah, Jarrett at Wembley. I didn't expect him to get that big a reaction. I mean, I'm happy for the guy because he's deserved it, I guess. But yeah, I was very taken aback by how he didn't really do much in the match, and yet everyone was like just yelling for every little thing that he did, every punch, every kick, every move, every Irish whip. Just my man was very over. So yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, like if you told me in 2024 that a Jeff Jarrett face turn was going to get great reactions from the crowd, I would have looked at you like you were insane. But fuck me, I mean, from him being in the Owen Hart tournament, from that 9-minute promo video I think that he released on YouTube and online, like such good shit. I mean, yeah, Jeff Jarrett's babyface turn. I wasn't expecting for not just myself, but for so many fans to be into it. I'm gonna give it to Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, I'm surprised this one is still available. I'm going with Big AJ at Full Gear.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's a good shout, actually. Yeah,
Like, how the fuck did that work?
I really got into that, you know.
You know,
I was
exactly.
interested, yeah.
Like me being there live, like I don't know how it came across TV, but listen, the moment we saw Big Justice climbing up the stairs and getting into the ring, like the rumbling and like just the anticipation, then he hits the spear on QT. Like, oh man, that pop was fucking amazing. And shout out to QT, who's just
Massive shout out to him.
Yeah, I mean that QT is amazing for what they asked him to do. For I think it was him that actually set up the match. You know, with him and Big AJ, like it was amazing. Easily, I'd say the greatest pre-show match in AEW history. Just for the build up, the hype of the crowd, and everything. I mean, yeah, that was an amazing moment.
What have I got? Yeah, our Big Bill in Cardiff. Just being there was just surreal. And just watching him try his best to like stem it, and then seeing him at one point when he knew the cameras went on, turn to whoever it was and just go, I don't know what the fuck to do. It was just fucking priceless. I loved it. But yeah, Jarrett overall, I mean, yeah, I think that's universal. Jarrett's trajectory this year as a face turn was pretty special. And that was obviously great in Cardiff as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. We going with Jeff Jarrett then, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
The Big Bill one, by the way.
A fine year for Jeff Jarrett. This is probably the icing on the cake for him, or cherry on the icing on the cake.
The Big Bill one, though, by the way, if you listen to his, I think he did it might have been the Jericho podcast or the wrestling one. He talked about that and how he said he was in the ring and he was looking around. He's like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. A really good listen, actually. He just, great. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Who's next? Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
So, this is the Outrunners Award, dedicated to the tag team, faction, or duo that best embodied the spirit of the Outrunners. Ridiculous, but brilliant. And for me, I'm going to go, just to not give it to the Outrunners, I'm going to go for Harley Graham. And Harley in general. I think she's been brilliant this year. Hilarious. Probably shouldn't have worked as well as it has, but it's been fantastic.
So I could go for the Outrunners myself, but I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to go with the futurist Leon Cage, because he's a young man like the Outrunners, the youngest man alive. He's 17 years old. He's not old enough to buy a pint yet, and yet here he is, like, coming out and basically like a Back to the Future sort of inspired get up. He's defying time like the Outrunners are. Like they've been selling out arenas since 1974. Played to like thousands of people, and yet here Leon Cage is doing exactly the same thing, working his way up through the British indie scene. So I'm going to give it to Leon Cage.
I like that, but I'm sorry, I cannot deviate from the Outrunners. It's the Outrunners. Truth Magnum, Turbo Floyd, two son of a bitches. Sons of bitches. Fucking hell. Can't even fucking speak properly. Two sons of bitches.
Yeah. Man. I was gonna go with the Outrunners too, but I mean, just looking at the description of the award, just ridiculous but brilliant. That's Tony Storm. This timeless Tony Storm. I mean, just
good shout.
It just every month, every week, she went more over the top, more unhinged, just more like, I mean, you thought she reached her peak, but no, she kept going up and up and up. I mean, yeah, I go with Tony Storm.
And I took this as literally as I thought I was meant to and just went for the Outrunners.
Yes! The Outrunners win.
That was a lot closer. That was a lot closer than this topic should have been.
Now, with that award, I feel like I need to go and eat some steak and lift some plates. Let's go.
If you're anything like me, and I know I am, then I'm going to do exactly the same thing.
I was going to come up with the trap and dealt stuff then, but fuck it, let's move on.
We'll be here just doing Outrunners references for the next 2 hours.
So
For the next one, it is my go, isn't it? Or is it Mark's? I can't
No,
remember.
it's Mark's.
Oh, okay, sorry. Here I am trying to jump ahead of the game. My bad.
Awful. Right. Next, the Meltzer's Math Gone Mad Award for the match that earned a baffling star rating that no one in their right mind could agree with. Do I go?
Right.
Oh, who goes?
Oh God, I don't know.
No, you go. You go.
Now.
Fine. You go.
All right. I'm gonna just say this real quick. First of all, we talked about Chris Statlander and her match with Willow Nightingale at All Out. How the fuck that didn't get 5 or more stars is just utterly baffling. But then I remembered that Dave Meltzer hates women, so then it became clear to me he just doesn't rate them as highly. But that match was it's certainly my favourite women's match of the entire year, close to Mercedes and Statlander at Full Gear. But Willow and Stat should have definitely had a 5+ star match. It was comfortably next to Osprey and Pac, the match of the night for me. So yeah, fuck Dave Meltzer sometimes, because sometimes he's quite good. Yeah, fuck him for his misogynist sort of take there.
How can he hate women? His mum's one.
Exactly.
But for me, I was going to go with I thought you would probably do the women's one because Dave Meltzer generally does rate women's matches like shit. But I went with the Punk McIntyre Hell in the Cell because it was a good match, but it was never a 5-star match at all. And it'd come from months of people harassing Dave online about his star ratings that they don't care about, but they clearly do. And it just felt like it felt to me like he was just bowing to pressure in the end and giving it 5 stars. It was a good match, but on his rating scale and the criteria that he rates matches on over the past, that is not 5 fucking stars. No. That is a case of, all right, here's one. Here's a 5-star one. No, please, fucking stop. So that's the one.
I have a great one. Like this star rating was just mean. Like I know this match was bad, but man, Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso at WrestleMania 40, night 1. Do you guys know what the star rating was?
175?
No, it was 0.75.
Oh shit!
Dave didn't even give it a full star. Like, don't get me wrong. I know the match was bad.
The match was shit. It was a proper shit match.
It was bad. Don't get me wrong. Bad dog shit match. But damn, he couldn't even give it a star. Like, damn. I mean, shit. Kind of tells you the long way that Jey Uso has come since then. I mean, but yeah, that match not even getting a star. That was just seeing that and doing research for this. Yeah.
Well, the two things that I think the best benchmark I've been taken. I mean, yeah, the all-out match between Stat and Willow should have been a 5-star. Drew V Punk should have been probably 4.25. One other one that I'll just throw in there, and I think at the time it was just it comes down to Meltzer's obsession with Osprey. And look, we all know that Osprey's probably the best wrestler in the world. But it's the Daily's Place match against Fletcher. It should have been a 5-star match in my opinion. It was a really, really good match, but it set a very dangerous precedent for his. I'm going to give every fucking Will Ospreay match 5 stars regardless. Now, like it was a really good match, but like it's not even the kind of match I would ever watch back. And if something's 5 stars, it should be something that I want to watch 4 or 5 times in my life. So I thought he set himself up a bit there by giving that 5 stars. It should have been a 4.25. 4.5 maybe. It wasn't probably 4-star. It wasn't a 5-star match by the standards he set. And if he's telling me that match was better than the all-out match between Willow and Stat, then that's a problem, because I think he probably would be the only person on the planet that would believe that.
And by virtue, we have a winner, because Mark stole mine. It's Ospreay Fletcher 1. Never 5 stars. Everything that Mark said. Yeah, Osprey
Did
for
he-
2-1.
Just really quickly, did he rate the MJF Osprey like 59-minute, 58-second match higher than that or lower than that?
I'm just checking that now. Give me 2 secs. I have a feeling he gave that 5.25.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'm just checking.
He rated that one higher.
Okay, all right.
He gave the first one. He gave the second one 5. He gave the he gave the 59-minute match 5 3/4.
Okay, fine. 5-3. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because people melted down about that because some people tried to pretend it wasn't a good match, didn't they?
Yeah, they wrote
like,
essays and everything.
They wrote essays.
Yeah, pretending that a clearly exceptional piece of art, really, for the sport was not that because they were throwing anything. Oh, it was pretentious. Oh, it was boring. It wasn't boring. It wasn't boring. It was a great match.
It's one of my matches of the year.
So the next award is known as the Jericho Gear of the Year Award, and we're not talking about cocaine. For the most outrageous ring gear or wardrobe decision, bonus points if it's the one of Jericho's learning tree trunks. So I've gone for a slightly different one. My basically clothing of the year is Brody King's Stone Island jacket because fuck me, that goes hard. That I've never like. I listen to a lot of hardcore like bands and all that lot like release like merch like kind of similar, and that jacket goes like necessarily hard. That's a clear winner for me. It's wardrobe decision for me. I love it. I want one, but they're like upwards of $1,000. So no, thank you.
Well, it looks like we get a bonus point because it was learning tree trunks for me. They're fucking stupid. They look as unflattering as anything, but they're funny as fuck at the same time. So they're the ones for me.
The one that says "Hi guys" on it.
Yeah. It's fucking,
yeah.
the comedy gold, but at the same time, they look like the most unflattering item of clothing he could possibly ever wear.
I think we got a winner by default because that's mine too.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm next, but yeah, it's learning tree trunks.
I mean, I've just chucked something into the group chat that was mine.
I just saw it.
It pissed me off. I'm like, you're not that guy, bruv. You are not that guy to wear that fucking mask. Nothing about you. You do not have the swagger to pull that mask off. And I found it offensively bad that Cody Rhodes went out wearing that fucking skull mask at WrestleMania 40. Like, one, it looks shit. It looks really shit on you. Like, we know the guy under the mask. You're not that guy, bro. Like, it was just really, just everything. It was just so pretentious, and it was as pretentious and as nonsensical as that whole fucking match was, to be perfectly honest.
I'm changing my answer. Yeah, it's the Cody mask. Yeah, from I'm sorry.
I think I'm changing mine as well.
It makes no sense. It means nothing. You've just thought, I'm the guy that's going to wear this fucking outrageous thing because it's going to make me look good. No, you look like a fool. You're not that guy. You're a dorky guy with a lisp who has really cheesy promos, who cries every time someone mentions your parents. You're not the guy that wears that mask, bro.
I'm changing mine because the learning tree trunks were clearly that it was a choice purposely to get a reaction to look, funny and stupid. The mask was meant to be serious. I'm changing it. Yeah.
So bad. Like, I've actually got angry about it now. Like thinking about you are like no one like Triple H could wear these ridiculous masks out when he was wrestling still, and he annoyingly sort of didn't not pull it off because he's that arrogant, like big beefy prick. Anyway, you're not that guy, dude. Nothing about you is the guy that wears that mask.
I'm changing mine back to that. I thought I was going to go for like a serious kind of cool item of clothing, but yeah, that is just like beyond like, a joke.
Well, here's a little fun fact. So apparently the guy who made the Cody Rhodes mask for WrestleMania 40, his name is Jason Baker. No, Jason Baker. Hey, hold on. Let's be respectful. Because Jason Baker is the same guy who made the mask for the Fiend. And I think he did the mask for the Wyatt 6 as well, and I think
that fucking makes sense.
And I think he did the mask for Rhea Ripley recently at Survivor Series.
Oh, that definitely makes sense then.
Yeah, but it kind of like as much as great work as he's done, that's easily like what that fucking mask. And like you said, at least with Jericho, it was meant to be taken as a joke, be taken lightly. No, I imagine imagine Cody putting on this mask and he's looking in the mirror like, yeah, I look fucking cool. Like, no, my
Do you know what?
guy, no.
That's exactly why I'm changing it, because you know damn well Jericho's got them trunks, and he's looked and he's thought, yeah, this will be funny. You know, this will make me look like a fucking dickhead and fit with the character. Cody's gone. Oh man, I love this. Yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. And it's like, it's terrible. He looks like a fucking B-level fucking He-Man bad guy from fucking 1984.
He looks like a B-Tech Skeletor, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Skeletor's fucking cousin.
Right, we've given this too much time, boys. Come on.
All right,
Cody's
Cody's mask wins it.
Yeah,
Unanimous.
And this one,
me, got me.
No, it's me, isn't it? This last award, well, no, there's two more, isn't there? Shit. Yeah, it's the DDP Flex Award for the wrestler or moment that surprised everyone by being way better than expected. Go for it, Dan. I think a few of us might be the same on this.
I've actually I can't decide whether well, it's between two really. So, excuse me, it's Harley Cameron or
Yeah, I'm Harley Cameron all
Harley
day for this.
Harley Cameron for me.
Harley
I didn't even
Cameron?
know she was a
Cameron.
wrestler originally when she was in QTV. I thought she was just fucking there as a side piece. And
This is
then
what's
when it
annoying
turns out
about
she's a
AEW. Like, I want to see her every week. I want to see Willow every week. I want to see Stat every week. I want to see Mercedes. I want to see Mariah. These people I literally want to see. They are good TV. Harley Cameron has made every second on TV count. I want to see these people every fucking week on TV.
and she can go though as well. Like she actually can wrestle. Because like I say, I didn't realize she was a wrestler when she did that whole skit with Anthony Bowens. I was thinking, oh, she's just in there as like a kind of comedy character. Didn't actually realize she was an actual fucking wrestler, and she's improved every time. Like and
Massively.
actually has improved. Unlike I actually don't think Anna Jay's improved that much. Everyone bangs on
You're
about
going
it.
to mention her for some reason.
No, I just don't think she's improved that much. I think she has slightly, but not. Whereas Harley Cameron has made incredible strides in the last fucking year. So that's why. But anyway, it's unanimous, isn't it?
pretty much.
Yeah, Harley Cameron.
Yeah, let's go. Two more before we get serious.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Shit. It's not me reading it out. It's who's next?
Yeah, it's
Brett.
me.
It's you.
Brett, yeah.
All right. We got the brawling in Bratislava. What the fuck?
Try that again.
Sorry, listen, I can't fucking read. Excuse my American education or English is very shit over here. Keep this in. You better not be taking this out, by the way. The Brawling in Bratislava Award for the year's most ridiculous fight location or cinematic match gimmick. Yeah, where are we going with this one, Dan?
I'm going to say Andy's excursions in Bratislava when he was being pursued by Dave Bartlett and his minions.
Yeah, it's a bit fucking scary, that, to be honest. But my vote's actually going to the Riot Cabaret match that was on a boat over the Thames. It was just fucking stupid. They're actually wrestling on a small boat. It was fucking incredible. If any of you haven't seen it, look it up.
Yeah, I gotta look that one up too, but yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Assuming this was this year, I'll have to double check. I've got two. Suzuki on the bullet train.
Yeah,
That was this year, wasn't it? That's a good
Oh
one.
my god!
Was
Yeah.
it this year when he was having the match on the train? Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah,
wasn't
that's what I mean.
Yeah, and
yeah.
was that when someone pulled a gun out? Obviously a fake gun.
Yeah.
Fucking Kenta Kobashi was on that one as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Slapping the shit out of people's tits on a train.
Just double checking that was this year.
I'll go on to mine quickly there. I reckon I took this a bit literally because when I put the most ridiculous location, I've gone with Spokane, Washington, because it was fucking rubbish there.
Got nowhere.
I fucking knew you were going to say that.
Everyone seemed stoned, like awful. Like it was you're 2 hours away from where Brett? 2 hours away from Seattle. Go to fucking Seattle, man. Don't go to this tin pot town with 80 people live there and expect to get a good crowd. There's a reason WWE have been there since like 2011 and they drew like 3,000 with like fucking Punk, Cena and Danielson and whatnot on the card. And they got like 3,000 there. Why would you go there? Like it was a terrible idea. It was a small venue. It was still half full. It was terrible. So
I knew you were going with that one because I remember us talking about the Big Bill and Jeff Jarrett receptions thinking, oh, will the American crowd carry it on? And then you looked and you're like, it's fucking Spokane. What the fuck?
Okay, like What is Spokane? Like, people that live an hour away haven't heard of Spokane. Like,
I'll give you that one. I'm with you on that one. I'm going to go with that one.
Unfortunately, Suzuki on a bullet train was last year, so I'm changing my nominee to the Green Man Beer Garden before All In.
I had a great time watching one matches there.
I must have been late for that one. I must have been late for that match.
Fucking no.
Team Spokane here, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Spokane wins.
Fucking
they don't even have a sports team. They don't even have a fucking sports team.
Honestly.
I swear.
They've got an arena. Why have they got an arena there? Like, who wants to do anything in fucking Spokane? Just don't even have an arena. Just, honestly, it really pissed me off. Like, I'm still blaming, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to blame Jimmy Jacobs for that. Fuck Jimmy Jacobs. Terrible idea to go there. Never go back.
This is a real wild tidbit of information. Apparently, 230,000 people live there as of 2023.
That's mental.
They don't like wrestling, did they?
They clearly don't.
Fucking hell.
Who's doing the last of the stupid ones before we move on to real?
Right, it's me.
Go on then. Let's do it.
Oh shit, no, go ahead. You can do it, Mark.
Oh, no, you go on, you go. All right, fuck it. All right. The Bryan Danielson Ankle Sell of the Year Award for the best over-the-top selling that left you genuinely impressed or laughing.
Well, recency bias might be playing in here, but I think it was the Hangman when he was hanging upside down and just looking like super like he was ready to burst, like he was about to pop a blood vessel. I cracked at that, I'll be honest. So yeah, that's I can't really think of anything else, so I'll go with that.
Mine's Tony Khan taking the TK driver. It was so bad. It was like when fucking Linda McMahon took a stunner. It was that bad.
Yeah, it was that bad.
Like they gave him proper like space. Like there was a good 2 foot between Tony's head and the floor.
Yeah, it's Tony Khan that takes this one from me.
Yeah, Tony Khan takes this one.
I want to give an honorable mention to every single time that Pat gets dropped on his head, because he makes it look like he has actually been dropped on his fucking head, and he did it again in this against Jay White. He every time I'm like, fuck, like zero. No, he's fine. He's amazing at it. He is just the perfect athlete, the perfect seller. But yeah, I mean, we've got to give it to TK here. We've got to give him an award tonight.
It was the fact that he sold it for a good 2 weeks later, with the neck brace of the draft, and then that led to the great moment of calling out the Weinsteins on TV.
Yeah.
So that's the funny awards over. Should we go for the serious ones then?
So the first of the serious awards, we're calling this the Ospreay Award. This is a match of the year, including Will Ospreay. And for me, it's Takeshita Ospreay at Revolution.
Second that.
Yeah, I agree. My honourable mentions were the triple threat, the Danielson, and the tag with him and Fletcher versus the Young Bucks as my matches of the year. But it's Ospreay Takeshita. Head and shoulders above the rest, I think.
As much as I love that match, for me, it's the Ospreay MJF Dynamite match. I think that's one of the best matches I've ever seen.
That's fair. Then.
Yeah, it's Ospreay. It's Ospreay and Takeshita. I mean, like just being there live. I mean, it was amazing from start to finish. I mean, yeah, it's Ospreay Takeshita.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. It was that match for me as well. Honourable mention goes to basically every other Will Ospreay match this year, though.
Too much. Guy got his own category for a reason.
Exactly.
Next.
Go ahead, Dan.
All right, so in the spirit of matches of the year, Ospreay has created a league for himself. So we're going to do a separate match of the year for matches that don't include Will Ospreay. So my one for this one was Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland at Wembley. It was sublime storytelling, start to finish. It was executed brilliantly. And I got to hear the final countdown at Wembley, and I burst into tears. And that's what wrestling's all about.
I'm going to go with a different one. Like that probably is mine, but when you take the emotion out of it and the event, and you just go purely on the match, it would be Hechicero, Zack Sabre Jr. from the Red Pro Anniversary show. It was just ridiculous. It was so fucking good.
I'm going to second Danielson and Swerve at All In, and like you said, like not just hearing Final Countdown there live in Wembley, but also my mother was there with me. Like I said, she's not the biggest wrestling fan, but of course, she she knows Final Countdown like word for word, like majority of us listening. So that was dope, like to do it before, during his entrance, and afterwards. When all the balloon and confetti were falling down, I mean, it was an amazing moment. So yeah, I'm going with Danielson and Swerve.
Yeah, I think it's clearly Danielson Swerve, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my favorite wrestler of all time against my favorite current wrestler. So yeah, what a match, what a moment. Unanimous, isn't it?
Yeah,
Swerve, Danielson, match of the year, barring Will Ospreay matches. To be fair, I think I'd even it might even be my match of the year, full stop, even with Ospreay matches, to be fair. I loved it. Again, being there, the moment of Danielson getting his name on the title, everything about it was just perfect. Yeah, so good.
Right, so now we're on to the Men's Wrestler of the Year. Go for it, Dan.
Men's Wrestler of the Year, I mean, it would be a bit to say Will Ospreay, wouldn't it? But do you know what? I think I'm going to go a slightly different route. I'm actually going to say Swerve Strickland, because he won the world title. He had a pretty short run with it in the scheme of things, but fuck me, was his title reign a good 5-6 months. Like the matches with Samoa Joe, the matches with Will Ospreay. He fought like loads of other people. I'm sure I'm missing. Spent ages, running through them. But yeah, he stands out a made man after this year. I think he should definitely win the title at some point next year, because they've got a star on their hands. And yeah, he's my Men's Wrestler of the Year.
I'm going to say Hook is not my Men's Wrestler of the Year. It's probably Swerve. Again, Swerve for the same reasons Dan put forward there. Will Ospreay's had the best match of the year, but I think Swerve, the way he developed his character more, and the way he kind of embodied AEW at one point, yeah, Swerve.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Swerve also. I mean, not just does he have great matches? Yes, but he's the total package. Well, he's been the total package for AEW this past year, whether it's been on the mic, in the ring, segments outside of the ring. I mean, his little mini rivalry with Ospreay, then of course his feud with Hangman was just fucking amazing. But I've said this on previous podcasts before as guests, like Swerve winning the title was the culmination of him just coming in. Like, he didn't come into AEW as a main eventer back in Revolution 2022. He made himself into a main eventer. Like, he put in the work. He did everything that was asked of him and put in front of him, and he knocked everything out of the park. He did Dynamite. He did Rampage. He did Collision. He did the tag team with Keith Lee, Swerve in Our Glory. He's taken so many pinfalls, and we've never heard a peep out of him. He's always been the consummate professional in that company. And him and Nana have been just the perfect pairing, just an awesome combination between those two. And just seeing him win the title was just like, someone, just because where you start out in the company doesn't mean that's where you're going to end. And Swerve, from where he started, from where he finished, I think was the perfect ending to him winning the title against Samoa Joe.
100%.
Yeah, for me, it's Swerve all day. Again, he's had the kind of ascendancy. He's been the next step up, the next person to do the meteoric rise that we saw coming. That was a great journey that we saw MJF have in 2021, 2022. I feel we've seen that from him. He's very, very easy to like. He's just got it, you know what I mean? Like, not that many wrestlers have it. He's just got a presence. He's a superstar. He's never going to be anywhere other than the main event now. He'll probably end up being a 3 or 4 time world champion, and he'll probably make every single journey unique and entertaining as fuck. Like, he has the amount of people this year that have probably had their best match of the year with him. So many people. If your best match of the year wasn't with Will Ospreay, it was with Swerve Strickland. He's had so many good matches this year. His feud with Hangman is just my favourite thing I think AEW have done, if I'm being honest. Probably my favourite wrestling feud. I love it because They're both fucking amazing. The title reign, he made every single minute of that count from Dynasty all the way through to All In. And then just again, Andy, you can say afterwards, just being in there with him, you saw how buzzing he was about the whole thing. Like the art form, it was just fucking great. There's just something about him that's just, he just got it. Him and Nana work. Everything's worked for him this year. Will Ospreay's had the better match catalogue, but the whole, let's take the wrestler as a whole compass, the presentation, the swagger, the promos, the intensity, the matches, the storytelling. Swerve Strickland's my wrestler of the year by a mile.
Yeah.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first Universal Award.
Nice.
To go Swerve. Echo everything else that everyone else has said. Spot on. Perfect this year. Got to be Swerve.
All right, for the next award, we have the Women's Wrestler of the Year Award. So many good choices right here. Dan, who's your pick?
Okay, for me, my Women's Wrestler of the Year. I know we haven't seen her a lot recently, but it's got to be timeless Toni Storm. She has, like, similar to Swerve, she has gone from, she's taken like a sort of a gimmick that had limited potential, if you like. And made and turned it into absolute gold dust. And she's just since like late last year, she's just gone from strength to strength. Every promo was hilarious. Every sort of interaction with Tony Schiavone, the whole Mariah feud, the whole dynamic with Luther, everything she was saying, and even what she's doing now, where she's sort of retiring and going to like run Hurry Shop, is just fucking fantastic. I'm such a fan of Toni Storm now. I think it's weird because I wasn't overly like. It sounds really bad to say, but when she signed, I wasn't like blown away by it because she'd been let go by the Fed, and I thought, okay, we're going to get the old Toni Storm, but the gimmick change has worked an absolute treat. Since splitting off from the Outcasts and like doing her own thing, coming out to like God Save the Queen, that fucking Wembley last year was a genius touch. Nobody has had a better, no woman, sorry, has had a better year, in my opinion, than Toni Storm.
Well, for me, Soraya is not the Women's Wrestler of the Year. It is Toni Storm. It's not even close. It's ridiculous how one-sided this is really. Some women have had some fantastic matches. There's been some decent stories, some decent feuds, but nothing has matched the Tony Mariah feud. The slow burn that was, and the amount of character work that Tony put into it is just insane. Some of the matches weren't fantastic along the way, but that was down to me. For me, sorry, that was down to. Wasn't down to me, fucking hell. That for me, that was down to the fact that she kind of slowed her style down and gone into an old, kind of old time wrestling style to fit the character, and the dedication to her craft in that respect is absolutely incredible. So, however good she's wrestled this year, she can take that up 2 notches easily. So for me, it's easily Toni Storm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Toni Storm. I mean, maybe one of the most shocking moments of the year, like the Mariah May turn on Toni Storm. I mean, damn, just that visual. I mean, or just that noise of when Mariah smacked Toni Storm in the face with the belt. I mean, damn, that was sick. And then just taking her shoe and just stabbing her over and over again in the forehead, like that was a insane visual. I mean, that Toni Storm and Mariah feud, I think, was great from start to finish. I mean, all parties involved. I mean, throw Luther in there as well. I think it should be unanimous in my opinion. It's Toni Storm.
Yeah, same. Toni Storm.
Yeah, no point. I don't need to add anything else. Toni Storm.
And the next award is the Tag Team of the Year. And Dan, do you want to start us off?
Well, I think I speak for everyone when I say my tag team of the year is the Outrunners. They've been my favourite tag team for 57 years. I'll vote for them every single time.
The Outrunners for me. I've never forgot that moment when they were fucked over in the '92 Royal Rumble. Ric Flair, last man in the ring, or so he thought. The Outrunners were still there, just too young to count. Didn't qualify. I don't know if any of you ever remember the movie Weird Science. It was actually originally the Outrunners instead of the two lads they replaced, but apparently Kelly LeBrock couldn't work with them because they were just so tan and vascular. So it's the Outrunners.
Yeah, it's obviously the Outrunners. I mean, these guys have been overlooked for years. I mean, politics have played a major part in keeping this team down. I mean, listen, I don't know if you guys know this, but they were supposed to break through big during the Attitude Era. But I mean, like towards the end, 2000, 2001, Farouk and Bradshaw. I mean, they were just they had this mindset they're the authority, they're the leaders in the locker room. They saw their rise, and they was like, nah, man. They went to Undertaker, took him to Wrestler's Court. They they didn't go through the proper channels. They're rising too fast. Undertaker, he banished him to the Shadow Realm, and 20 years later, they didn't age a day, pop up in AEW, and now they're the hottest tag team in the scene. So yeah, Outrunners 2025. Give them the damn belts. That's the agenda.
They didn't age a day, and the Undertaker, look at that fucking cunt. He's a dead man.
Literally.
Yeah, I'm same sentiment. I've got to go. I remember when I was 5 years old, and my dad told me about the escapades of the Outrunners, and I've been a fan of wrestling ever since. So it's the Outrunners.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be the Outrunners. I remember the first VHS I ever got when I was about 3 years old was of the footage of the Outrunners building the Heart Dungeon with their bare hands. And to this day, they've still not got their hands on Tag Team Gold, and that's infuriating. So they've been the Tag Team of the Year, and next year I want to see them strapped up for the full 12 months.
The Outrunners.
The Outrunners. The fucking Outrunners.
Let's fucking go!
The fucking Outrunners.
Eating steaks, slamming plates.
Tell him,
yes.
Turb.
Youngest men alive.
Oh, what a time!
Oh, real quick before we move on. So Christmas is around the corner. So we got to make an effort to tag and reach out to Turbo Floyd. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of a Christmas movie called Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
It's a great movie. It's amazing.
It's a great movie, but remember the premise of the movie is they're trying to get the hottest action figure toy for his son, and it's Turbo Man. So Turbo Floyd, if you're out there for a Christmas episode of Dynamite, I need you you got to dress up as Turbo Man for a Christmas or Collision episode of AEW. Like, oh man, that'd be the fucking moment of the year. But yes, we have to. Everyone listening to this, chill your ass off, to make this happen. Do it,
please.
It's my favorite Christmas movie, so I will 100% be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's got the Big Show in.
Recreate the match, even.
Get Sinbad involved too. Why not?
Why the hell not?
Great Sinbad, isn't he?
Well, he has history with AEW. If I remember, being the Elite. Remember with the segments where Silver Reynolds were trying to recruit. Didn't they recruit Sinbad for the Dark Order?
I have no idea, actually.
I believe so. I gotta look that up again. But yeah, they actually recruited. I believe Sinbad for the to join the Dark Order. One of the being the Elite bits. That was fucking hilarious.
While we do that, Mark, do you want to read out the pay-per-view of the year?
Let's do it. Right, on to our penultimate award of the night. And this is a fucking hard one, boys. Pay-per-view of the year.
Ooh, God! Trust me, going first. There could be a shout for 5 or 6 of them, to be honest with you.
Easily.
But for me, it was close. I nearly put all in just because I was in there. But
before you go down, which one are you going for, night 1 or 2?
Oh God. For me, we've talked about it. It's got to be Revolution 2024, isn't it? Sting's retirement, Greensboro. It had the Ospreay Takeshita match. It had Kingston versus Danielson. It had Moxley and Claudio versus FTR in what is a really underrated tag match of the year. It
Massively.
had, yeah, it had Joe, Hangman, and Swerve, which again was very, very underrated match. I feel. Yeah, you can't really fault it. Top to bottom, excellent. It flowed really, really well. It started them off on the right foot. For what was a sort of rather dismal end to 2023, they really hit the ground running with this pay-per-view. I loved it. But then again, Dynasty, Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, All In, All Out, Wrestle Dream, all of them lot are win with a shout for pay-per-view of the year. But for me, it's got to be Revolution.
Yeah, I think it probably is Revolution, to be honest. I don't know though. All In was fantastic.
I nearly put it in because I was there, So
yeah, I think it kind of I don't know. I think there's a bit of bias there, isn't it? But the whole Danielson winning moments and everything. I don't know. But then All In and Sting's retirement. I know it was. I think recency bias probably plays a part in me going for All In because Revolution was just phenomenal. It was head to toe, top to bottom. The pay-per-view was just absolutely fantastic. It's probably one of AEW's best pay-per-views of all time. So yeah, I'll probably have to go with Revolution.
It's up there with the argument for the best pay-per-view in North American history. I'm not going to sit there and judge stuff in Japan because I know there's stuff that if I watch, I'll be blown away by it. And so I'm not going to sit here and say the best pay-per-view ever. But being someone who's watched pretty much every WWF one, suffered most of WCW's ones, it was fucking great, man.
Yeah, I mean it's Revolution for me. I mean, like I said, the match of the year is on there, top to bottom. The card was just amazing. I mean, yeah, we're going to talk about another part of the pay-per-view, but I'll hold off on that for now. But it's Revolution for me.
See, I'll go back to what Andy said. I choose Revolution, but again, it's by a fingernail ahead of both All Out and All In because I thought All Out was fucking fantastic as well. But All In was so good. The only thing that All In did is the last two matches before the main event massively underwhelmed, and that leaves a sour taste when you have matches at that stage of the card, which a lot of people were critical of. I mean, the coffee matches went too quick. And obviously Mercedes, Britt Baker had the misfortune of following Ospreay, MJF. But those two matches, and Hook v Jericho as well, they weren't the best matches. And the one thing that Revolution didn't have was a dud. Which is why I choose Revolution.
And our final award is for the moment of the year, which I think speaks for itself. You could choose pretty much anything. Could be a match, could be a promo, could be just anything, however long. And for me, I've already mentioned it, but for me, it was Bryan Danielson winning the world title at Wembley and me hearing the final countdown, a blubbery, drunken mess crying onto my friend's shoulders, just because my favorite wrestler winning the world title about 40 miles down the road from where I live. You couldn't ask for much more than that. So, yeah, that's my one. But there are so many. But this one sticks out to me.
There's too many. I'm thinking of the one I'm going to say, but then I'm also thinking, what about this one? What about that one? The one I'm going to say is probably the most impactful moments of the year for me. But there's also other moments Sting's last match was up there for me. That's probably my number two. Jericho winning the Ring of Honor title again is up there for me personally. And it's the Tony turn on Mariah. That was so well done. It came out of nowhere. It's one thing nobody seen coming. We all knew it was going to happen, but just not then. We thought it was going to happen down the line. It was brilliant. It was the most impactful segment of the year. That's mine. Tony turning on Mariah, beating Mariah turning on Tony, beating the living shit out of her with the belt, and then making her bleed like a fucking turn into a bloody mess with a fucking shoe.
I am going to go with Sting's final match, his retirement match at Revolution. Even before the match started, I mean, well, first off, this just tells you the drawing power at this age and time that Sting still has. that Revolution was announced that last year in November. It was announced 5 months before Revolution even started. So I think that's the earliest they ever announced the pay-per-view, well, other than All In, that they announced so early that the event easily sold out. I mean, it shows you that Sting is still a draw to this day, that he's still a big deal to this day, and it couldn't have been at a more perfect venue, being in Greensboro, North Carolina. I mean, it was, like Mark can attest to, it was an amazing atmosphere. And look, you can how can you can critique Tony Khan on a lot of things, but how he treated Sting in AEW in his almost 4-year run was perfect from
Flawless.
flawless from start to finish.
It was.
The pairing of Sting with Darby Allin was perfect. I feel like they needed Sting's run in AEW. I don't think would have been as great if it wasn't with Darby, in my opinion. So it was perfect continuity from start to finish, and then it easily erases the damn travesty that WWE pulled with Sting, bringing him in Survivor Series 2014, then having Triple H beat him at that following WrestleMania, and then just got injured with Seth Rollins, and that was almost the last we have ever saw Sting in a wrestling ring. But thank God AEW came around. Tony picked up the phone, called Sting, brought him in, great 4-year run, and then just everything in the retirement match, like the opening, the video package, Sting sitting in the movie theater watching career highlights, the piano playing. I could tell you myself and all the other people, we were crying. There were tears in our eyes because he was the icon. He was the legend. I mean, so it just brought back that rush of memories from, how do you say, Surfer Sting, Great American Bash Sting, NWO Sting, Black Wolfpack Sting, and Joker Sting, and all that. And you have his sons come out. One coming out as a American Stampede Sting, then the other Black Wolfpack Sting. I thought that was great with his sons being involved, and then just him. The match with the Young Bucks was it was carnage. It was insane. Darby taking that spot, from the top of the ladder onto his back into a plate of glass.
Real glass.
I mean, real fucking glass. And then Sting picking up the victory, I cried my heart out. The speeches at the end, all the superstars on top of the ramp. It was I hate using the word cinema, but it was cinema. It was just it was a Martin Scorsese-esque, Hollywood ending to an amazing career. So yeah, it's Sting's retirement match for me.
Yeah, beautiful. My pick is one very personal to me. It's the only time in wrestling that wrestling's truly made my brain switch off. I just couldn't think. It's McGuinness's return at Wembley.
Yeah. Very good shout.
I wish someone had videoed my reaction because genuinely for 5 minutes I couldn't speak. My brain just shut off. I was stood there crying, tears of joy, just happy, true happiness. Shouts to Hawkeye from Twitter who sat in front of me, who shared that moment with me. But yeah, very personal to me, but McGuinness's return.
Yeah, there's been so many. I wanted to stay away from a match and kind of go for a moment, and I was kind of drawn to 3. And the Mariah Tony one was the most impactful. I loved the shot. Just the shot of Hangman sitting there with the whiskey with the house on fire was beautiful for me because again it was just the final push before the big blowout of, I think, AEW's finest feud, or definitely their finest singles feud. And there was one more. What I'm going to go for is, I just fucking loved it. Do you know why I loved it? Because people got upset by it and people bitched and moaned about it because people are stupid. the end of Wrestle Dream when they choked out Danielson and the crowd were just dead silent and no one knew what the fuck to do. And I loved that. I'm a big fan of the bad guys winning. There was this film called Arlington Road from like the late 90s. And it was Tim Robbins and Jeff Bridges, I think. And the bad guys won. And I'd never seen the bad guys win before. And I fucking loved it. And you get the bad guys winning the main event in wrestling, but usually the show goes home with a happy ending. If it's a dark match, whatnot. This show went off the air with an attempted murder of a retired wrestler who's arguably the greatest wrestler of all time. And no one in that stadium, in that arena, made a fucking sound. In his hometown. I loved it. I love that visual of them all standing in the ring with a fucking bag over Danielson's head. It was so morbid, but I fucking loved it.
So it looks like I was gonna say, it looks like we're at a 5-way deadlock. I mean,
I will go. I think the Mariah Tony stuff was just perfect because, again, as Andy said, we saw it coming, yet it was still so impactful and so well done. It was a perfect heel turn. It's hard to do a really well executed, original, innovative heel turn in 2024, and this was it. It was so quick as well. They're running up the ramp just straight after the match, and there was just no delay in it, no waiting, no building to the moment, just fuck you and boom. Loved it. I'm happy to back Andy and go with Mariah and Tony.
We knew it was coming, but we just didn't think it was coming that quick. Like we all said we thought it was going to either happen at the pay-per-view or just before the pay-per-view. This was like, it was a good 3-4 weeks before, wasn't it, from memory? Yeah. And it was like, and it was just completely out of the blue. The whole skipping up the ring together, holding hands, looking dead happy. Tony's like really, really happy for it. She picks up the belt. Tony smiling, clapping, everything, and then just bang, straight in the face.
Yeah, I made the big mistake of I was watching that episode of Dynamite 20 minutes delayed, and I made the mistake of going on Twitter, and so I just saw this bloodied image. So I kind of killed the moment for myself, but yet it was still so good.
It was just I just did not see it coming at all, and the way it was played with Tony lying on the floor in a bloody mess, shouting, "Why, Mariah? Why?"
Yeah,
it was amazing. It was the. I'm trying to look at this as what has been the best still image of the year. If you can picture it in a still image, and that shot of her standing over her, Tony's face, a mixture of horror, confusion, and just being battered, and Mariah standing over her with the shoe, blood on her face. That image is up there with the Hangman image. They're the images of the year kind of thing for me. But yeah, Mariah Tony was just wonderful.
My second choice would have probably been. Obviously, I said Sting and a few other moments, but Hangman sticking the needle in Square's mouth as well was another good one, because that was one where it was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, loved it. Fucking loved it. I forgot about that. Honestly, so many moments.
Yeah. Well, on the whole, it's been like an absolutely fantastic year.
It's been a fucking mental year.
It has.
They're swimming upstream the entire time, AEW. They're fighting against every possible thing that can be thrown at them the whole time. And again, the one thing is they're in a position where if they do 85% of their TV fantastically, but 15% is a dud, they get battered for that 15% from across the board by literally everyone. Whereas WWE can go through a 2-hour Raw where 90 minutes of it is borderline unwatchable and just bland as fuck. Then they'll knock the final segment out of the park, and that 25% is all that anyone will talk about. So AEW have constantly swimming upstream, and this year you'd have some people believe it's been a nightmare for them. It's been fucking excellent. It's been the best year of pay-per-views in history by any company. Dynamite's still been the best show of the year. Collision seems to have found its place now. They've had some of their best feuds in their 5-year history. It's been a really good year.
Yeah,
it really
on to 2020, on to 2025.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a year, and that's with some big names still to come back as well. It's insane how good a year it's been.
They've missed Kenny Omega for the entire fucking year. They've missed Samoa Joe for half the year. They've barely had MJF available all year round. Hangman has been in and out of the scene the entire time. I mean, there's probably a far bigger list of people that I'm forgetting that haven't been available for like prolonged periods. They've not had anywhere near a full roster available to them all year round. Like Eddie Kingston's missing half the year. So many like huge fucking names have missed significant chunks of this year, yet they still delivered what they've delivered.
I can't wait for World's End. I can't wait for what 2025 has in store for them.
100%.
Yeah, man.
I can't wait for.
It's a good time to be a wrestling fan.
It's a great time to be a professional wrestling fan.
For the next UK show, so Big Bill can get his cheers again.
And congratulations to Bill. He got married today or yesterday, whenever this airs. Well, by the time it airs, it'll be a couple of days ago. So congratulations to Bill and Lexi.
Nice.
Well, congratulations, Bill.
Yes.
I just want to say dead quick, as part of taking us home, what a fantastic first 6 months for the pod. It is pretty much now the 6-month anniversary of the Group Chat Wrestling podcast. It's been an incredible journey so far, and I can't wait for the years to come.
Damn right.
Thanks for enjoying this episode with us, and please let us know on social media what you think of our choices, and tell us your winners for our fantastic categories. We love you all. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
Peace.